Yes, we are live now. And Raj, if you can make me the host again. Yes,
Can
Harsha
you still,
and Parul.
let me see. It didn't tell me now.
Yes, it is. Meeting
Yeah,
is
now
now
it's live.
streaming live.
Now it's live. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Okay,
make you the
Harsha
host
and
again and I'll
Parul.
leave now.
Yes, please. Stage is all yours. Harsha, do you want to start?
Yeah. Good evening, ladies. Lovely to see you today. We've got a fantastic program today. I hope you're all well, enjoying the sun in London. The sun is out. We've got a lovely lady today. Her name is PARUL JANI, and she is going to teach us how to wear a sari, professional sari draper. So Parul, welcome to London, and I know you're based in London. Let me tell you a little bit about Parul. Parul's not only just a professional sari draper, she is a wife, mother of 2 kids. She works full-time. She's gone through difficult times. She works full-time, and she also manages the household. She does lots and lots of community work. She's very high profile in different community events. So Parul, welcome. And
Thank
today,
you. Welcome. Thank you.
Parul, just tell a little bit what you're going to do, and as we go along, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I've got a few questions, and I'm sure other ladies have questions for you as well.
Okay. So what I normally find a lot of people have this issue about sari is they can't really do their pallu properly, right? And I'm going to teach them few techniques which they can prepare beforehand. Like sometimes, you can do that, and some very simple tricks, right? That help them, because lot of people, I see lot of women just want to do a loose pallu, right? Where when they wear a loose pallu, right, they sometimes don't know how to carry loose pallu because it's all dragging. Also, they want to put patlis here and on their shoulder, but they can't be bothered, or when they do it, it's quite messy. It's go here, there, everywhere. So that's the reason it's like I'm just going to go with very simple tips. I do few, no, I won't say complicated, but I do few variations from one sari. I do few variations, and depending on the person how they like it, I just put it on the sari like that. So that's how. So I'm just going to show. I would like to welcome she's my older sister. She looks younger, but I want to make sure that she's older than me. So my sister Nisha Shukla, and she is going to be my model for today. And I have myself, she doesn't do sari draping, but I myself have learned a lot from her. So like you all do, you learn a lot from your older sister. So, but we're constantly teaching each other lots of things. So I'm just going to get up, and if you can't see it, let me know. Yeah?
So Parul, while you're doing this, you'd also like to let us know how long you've been doing this. How did you learn this? Did you do professional classes?
The way I started it, and I must say, my every time I put a sari on, I remember my babu. So I call my sister, she's my cousin sister, and her mom actually taught us how to put sari on, and she was the master of putting sari on. And every time I do sari, I remember, okay, thank you, Ma, you taught us how to put the sari on. So that's how I've learned. I'm going to say a few more stories about myself, but before that, I'm going to say, So what I do is, this is what I call a basic tuck, right? Now, you can either do, you can take it like handful of clothes, right? Generally, when you have a border, right? You put a border, you can tuck it like this. Can you see? Yeah. If someone can put me on a spotlight, people can see it much better. If someone can put me on a spotlight, people can
Yes,
see
I'll do that.
You are on spotlight.
Yes, I'll do that.
You are on spotlight.
Okay. So what, either you can do that, but generally, when you take the side there, you do your patli. Okay. Now, there's a lots of way to do patli. I do it like this because I'm a half lefty, half righty. Now, this is your small border, and you depending the size of yours, like my sister is like half the size than me, right? So I would do a small patli. For me, I would do little bit bigger patli. So I'll do patli. And then make sure this last bit is this way, because it has to come out like this. Now, you think, I'll put this on the shoulder, but one very good trick is a clip. I use a clip. I use the bigger one, the reason being I do lots of different saris. But you can use this clip. I'm sure everybody has this clip. Am I right? If not, then garden mati layacho. So you do this and you clip it, put a clip here. So that means it's a secure, right? And then put it on the shoulder, okay? Or if you're putting someone, or you can hang it on your, if you have a kili. Just put it on a shoulder and this, look what I'm doing. You just take these, so you adjust them. Once you adjust these, you put another clip there. Rather than putting lots of safety pin and make a hole in your sari, put this here. And then have you do all your clips.
No. My friend.
And if you put a chero longer at the back, you will look taller and you will look little slimmer as well. And a lot of people have a habit of taking chero at the front. And if you have a longer, you can do that as well. This is kind of a good length. I don't think so, but below your knee, it's a kind of a good length. And I'll put a pin here, clip here. Now, because I go sari draping lots of different places, I have this small box. I do have a bigger one as well, but this is where you can put different sizes of your clips in a different way. Try and use the good quality stainless steel clips, so that will not, your sari won't damage. And one of these good old nappy pins, they are very, very good. If you have an old nappy pins, which is like when your children like when my children, 20, 25 years ago, they are brilliant. They are very good. I can't find those quality ones. But nappy pins are very good to secure your patlis or anywhere. And this is you must have it. Like few, you have that, and that's brilliant. You can like use it very nicely. So I'm going to secure this.
While Parul's putting the pin on, she's a very good. I've used her lots of times. She brings the pins, the bindis, the chanlas, whatever you like to call with her. She makes sure, and she dresses everyone within 10-15 minutes. I know she's done at my son's wedding about 20 ladies, and nobody had to worry about safety pins or anything.
I did say that I'm going to show the top part, but why now I'm going to do this. Now you take this here, okay? And the very good trick is you put a pin here, okay? Make sure you don't put a pin in your underwear, but take a pin, this place, the one your basic top and your chanyo or your petticoat, whatever you call that, and pin that. You can pin it from the outside. So that's where it's all like nice and secure from here. Try and do big patlis. So when people like me, it's not a big of a problem because I'm a big girl, and as it is, I don't get that many patlis. But people like some of you or people like my sister, I would ask them to do a bigger patli, and you can tuck it nicely inside. And the way to tuck in patlis are, you know your belly button. So between your belly button, you tuck your patlis. Okay. Now time to adjust this chair. Now, lot of times you will see, okay, sari thai gayi mari. Okay. But by the time evening, what will happen? This chair will start coming like this. And you don't want that. You're going to be going to a party where you may be dancing as well. So what you want to do is you want to make sure your sari is as secure as possible. Now, another thing is when you do the patli, you can put the pin at the patli. Another thing is this patli I have done, right? If not first or second patli, go to the second patli or third patli and take a nappy pin and put it in there. So then your patli, sari and your petticoat, everything is secured. So if anybody puts a patlima, if they put a step on it, it won't come off. And especially I would say if you're putting sari on your daughter, try and do that. So that way it's easier because they're not very used to wearing sari. So that's what I do. Now, me and my sister used to do that on our daughter because her older daughter and my daughter, they just stand like this and we used to put a sari on them. And within 5 minutes, their sari used to come off. So another thing we used to do is when you do a basic tuck, you can put a safety pin there, like a small safety pin there. So it's extra secure for them. Because I have put on a sari for a white girl and they're not comfortable. So just put like 2 or 3 pins. So it's quite secure around there as well. So that's how. Now, when you do this, right? Look, it's quite straightforward, quite simple. Now you can put one pin here. Some people don't like showing their tummy. So if you put this like this, and look, all the plates are separated. It's not mixed, all the plates are separated. Then you can put a pin there. Find a small pin, and either you can put it, depending on the sari, when the sari is nice and thick, like a Sela type sari, then what you can do is, you really don't need too many pins. But maybe if you have a chiffon sari or something like this sari, I would put a pin there. So it's like once you put on, once you are done with the sari, you don't have to do anything. And like when you come in the evening, you will find your sari the same way you went in the morning. So I normally, what I do is, I go inside and I put a pin with the blouse. But what you have to do is, you have to take the pin very little, so people can't see the pin. Because this is the area that people can see. Okay? Now, one another thing very important, when you are say for Navratri, or at the reception, you know you're going to be dancing, and you don't want to be worried about ke maro chhero aam thai jase ki nahi thai jaye. So then I normally put another pin around here. So that way it's nice and secure. Yeah. So this is one simple way of doing sari. Yeah. And then what I do is, like, can you go like this? Listen, look at me. Can you go like this? Look, her chero is all out. Okay? So, what you do is, I put the pin here in the blouse maya pattern. But, you know, this sari has got lovely border. So what you do, you just little bit spread. So you can see the border as well. And then put a pin, one pin here. I know when you are putting your sari on, you need one extra person to put a pin on. But make sure you train your partner to do that for you. Or you train your daughter, or you train your son. I have trained my mother-in-law to do that. So you need to train one more person who can put pin on you. This is quite important. Otherwise, just go around with the pin, and first person you find at the venue, just say, can you quickly put a pin on me like this? Okay? So one another thing is, this chero, what I do, you can put this chero all the way up to the floor. And then if your sari is really nice, you can bring it like this. And then you can do V here. So this gives you a different way. It's not out. You can see. Sometimes your sari is very heavy, but your blouse is simple. Then you can flaunt your sari nicely. You can bring this chero at the front if you want, and you can put it at the front. So then everything is aligning. So then you can see it look nicely like that. So this is like one way of, simple way of putting sari on. But like one thing you can do like a few variation. And make sure you put it like a nice, take a nice tight here. So it's like tight properly. So it sits properly. Because remember, sari is just a six meter material that you are wrapping yourself, right? So as you walk around, it's going to go a little bit loose. So in the beginning, it's quite nice that if you put everything nice and tightly, because you're going to be sitting in the car, you're going to be doing like with us, like we will be doing some calm as well after, like before going out. So it's quite nice that if you like put it nice and tightly. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this out. When you put this here, now, lot of people hold their sari. Lot of people hold their sari just like this. Look how, just turn around this side. Yeah. Look how it looks like. It doesn't do justice to sari. So when you hold your sari, you always do this. Look, this sari has got a nice border. So what you do is you do a little patli of your sari border and hold it in such a way hold. Yeah. So then you can see your sari properly. So that's how you do, because you have to wear your sari elegantly. Because if you just do like this doesn't do justice to sari. Right? Because it's like, it's everything is just flowing like as if like your sari is not there. But if you want to do a loose pallu, then you have to do a justice to your sari. And that's the simple way. Lot of saris. Another trick I would like to show you. When you take this pin out. Okay. So now you can see this is loose, right? Now what you do is, can you see me? Take this from here where your patli is, right? Other side, bring it to other side.
Parul, there is a question somebody's asked, but how do you keep those patlis? You can't hold them all evening.
You can't hold them whole evening, but whenever you are doing it, you don't have to do patli. What you have to do is just take it like this. Just make it as if you make. If you do patli, you do patli, but you have to make it nice and neat, rather than just hanging your sari like this. Some people just do this. Look, it doesn't do justice to sari. It doesn't do justice to sari. So if it is a chiffon sari, then it's fine. But when it's like a border wadi sari, then you have to hold it very elegantly. Another thing I do is, I do a little patli, right? And then sometimes you can do a one pin here. Then it stays like that. It's a little variation, and it depends what type of sari you are wearing. If it is a simple sari and it has got a simple border, then it doesn't make much difference. So this is a simple way of sari I have done. Is there any more questions? Fire away questions. And I know Harsha Ben asked me a question that how did I started doing a sari? I always used to be a little bit better on putting sari on or wearing my sari on. I always liked my sari properly. So when I used to go to the function, people, or especially the family member who haven't put on a sari properly, it used to bug me. And I would take them to toilet and I said, come on, let's do your sari. And slowly, I started spending more time in the dressing room than at the wedding venue. So one day, out of the blue, one of the family members suggested, he said, I think you should start charging everybody £5, £1, £2, taro channel free thai jase. And that really stuck me. And then I spoke to a few of my friends and I said, I spoke to one or two, like a beautician, and I said, "Do you think is there a business in them?" He said, "Why not? Because a lot of beauticians don't know how to do sari, and especially in this country, right? Sometimes you have a white girl, like non-Indian coming to you and dress like do your makeup and hair, but obviously they don't know how to put sari on, and that's how I started doing business, and that's how I started going. I said, I'm just going to do, initially, I don't know what to charge, how much to charge, but it's all coming up. And I haven't done really any course, but on and off, whenever I go to India, I just kind of brush up like one or two saris. And now that I look up lots of YouTube videos as well and get new ideas, and I practice my ideas on my sister. I used to do my daughter, or sometimes I put my mother-in-law there, and mom would like I would do some things. So that's how I started doing my saris. And
So,
I love it. Sometimes I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I do that. But this is my passion.
Let me tell you one thing. Recently, Parul went to put sari on Sonam Kapoor.
and how far do you go, Parul?
I travel anywhere. My set fees is, like I say to them, that up to like 7 miles of my house to up to 10 miles, I don't charge any travel fee. But anything more than that, I travel. I have traveled up to from Wembley to up to Dartford Tunnel, East London, Slough, Gerard Cross. I've traveled all those places. And because what I find is that when you have a wedding in your house, right, especially, you are not doing sari for one person. You will be more than one person. So it's my time worthwhile as well, and they all get to do everything. I take my safety pin box. I have my bag. I have a one box where all the safety pins are separately. I've got another box as well. So I have a spare safety pins with me. I always carry my clips. I carry nowadays not so that much, but I used to carry my chandlas as well with me. So I do, and I do know that whenever I go to do a sari, my waiting time is quite sometimes more, because beautician hasn't finished and everybody wants to do a sari last. So sometimes I do have to wait a lot, but that's part and parcel of the job. And this is my passion. I really enjoy doing that, and I am glad. I'm so glad that I've started doing it. I think almost July. I'm completely booked.
Parul, how many ladies have you done at a for a wedding, one wedding
I
at a
think
time?
at one wedding, I think I've done it from about 15 ladies, and because what I did is the family members, I've dressed them up quickly, and then later on, like when people who don't have to go there quickly, I would like, so the I remember 15, around 15 ladies. I did it at one wedding, and that's like I think one wedding I went to, where it was in a London, it was in a hotel, and they hired another, like a smaller hall there for an afternoon. Like, so once the wedding is finished, they all went to that hall. They had a tea, coffee, and everything. And that's where I did lots of ladies, one by one by one by one. And I did that. And I love it. I love it and I enjoy it. I have put on a sari on a lady who didn't had a petticoat, so she had a jeans on, and I put a sari on jeans. Jeans is not too bad, but the worst one is the leggings. I have done a sari on a legging as well, but all I sell them go to loo now, and you cannot go to toilet until you finish. So that's where this nappy pin comes handy. I've literally start putting the nappy pins everywhere, and I have done the sari on like that. So you just have to improvise. I think soon what I'm going to do is try carrying some petticoats with me as well. So that's how I have done saris, and I love it. And I'm going to put my telephone number.
Parul, you do all styles, don't you? Gujarati,
I
Bengali.
do Gujarati. I do few variation in a Gujarati style saris as well. I don't know what's the time permit, but I can quickly show a Gujarati sari if anybody wants to see it. It's a 7:30, and we have England playing today as well. So I don't know what everybody feels. So if you want to see the quickly Gujarati saris, then I can do that as well quickly. What's everybody?
I'm fine. What about the other ladies? Are they okay?
Okay. So I'm going to quickly do, it's the same thing. Okay. Same principle. You do, some people like to, when you do Gujarati sari, you can change the patli if you want to. Otherwise, this patli is absolutely fine. Right? Same principle applies. You do your patli. And you do Gujarati saris. Same principle applies. You use clips. And another thing is, you can prepare your sari night before. You can put all these clips and you can hang it. Saware, sometimes you have to go at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Your sari is prepared, like your patli is prepared. You can even do a bottom patli, prepare them, and put a clip there. So you're not putting lots of safety pins on, but you can prepare your sari there. Especially when you are going somewhere, when you're putting a sari in the morning and you're putting a sari in the evening as well, and you go to pack your saris, and you go to the hotel, and you're going to change it there. Then when you prepare these kind of things beforehand, then it's less time consuming as well, and you can quickly do this. So you can put the clips like this, put a clip here.
Parul, you got a question here.
Mhm.
Where do you buy those large clips?
I bought these large
What are they called?
they call clips, right? Large clips, and I bought
They're
it from.
called clothes peg.
These aren't cloth pegs, but these can be cloth pegs. So you just say large pegs. Other ones are my cloth pegs. So you, for your small saris or a patari saris, you can use. I use my cloth pegs, and they do the equally same job. These ones are morely for like your sellas, or you have a heavy saris, or lot of saris have a really thick border, and that's where I use my big clips. And this is brilliant. I got it from eBay. They only like £3-4, and I have got it for 10 or 12. So once you get that, you only need 5 or 6. So this is quite good. And you
I've
can
got
keep
another
that.
question here. I have seen women tie the end of sari around the waist. Can you please show that?
I think we probably may not have time for that. So we probably need to, I will definitely show that, and I will do a video for that. And we can do that for next session. That's for sure. So that's definitely for the next session. Now, one very good trick I wanted to show it to everyone. Sometimes when you have a heavy sari, right? When you take these, your things like this, it catches here, right? It catches here, and you can't really flaunt your jewelry properly. So for that, I have a very good trick. What you do, you take your sari, before you take in here, you do a small pinch of sari, okay? And you put a safety pin there. You can put it from the outside as well if you want, because it's not going to show. Okay? Now, when you take it like this, you can see, and you can put nice jewelry here properly as well. So this is all angled. And that's a really good trick you need to use. Then you can flaunt your like sari properly. And this works for both the ways, Gujarati style and the ulta palla as well. And this is quite nice. Now, at the back with Gujarati sari, you can either put it on in your blouse or you can take it down here. When you put it at the bottom, when you put a safety pin, make sure you don't put a safety pin with your underwear. That's one thing is very important to remember. So, when you do this, it really catches very badly. And the same thing at the back. Try and take the border out like this little bit and put it. Okay. Now another way is the same thing. What I do is a long pallu. This is a very beautiful way of putting sari. And a lot of people says, "Mane Gujarati sari, I don't want to wear Gujarati style sari because I look older." But when what you do is you take this pallu all the way down. Okay? And then you take it like this. And when you do tight, it looks a Gujarati, but it looks very elegant. It comes like this. So it's very elegant that way as well. So it's like some variation, you can do lots of different variation. These are the simple two basic ways we put sari on. And this is how it's done. There are lots of like Bengali style saris, and some people put a sari on jeans, and I do sometimes. I have done that once or twice as well. So I think next time we can do a sari with other variation as well. So is there any other questions if you have, then to let me know.
Parul, thank you very, very much from IIW. We are very grateful for you to come and show us, and please do come again.
Definitely.
Before we close this session, any of the ladies have a question?
Not a question, but this Sarika here, really lovely, Parul, to see the session and the way you have draped the sari. I am really bad at it, and I really like the way you've done it so easily. It appears it's so easy, but I'm sure it's your, years of work you've done.
No, thank you.
Really
Sari
nice.
draping is not that difficult once you get the hang of it. A lot of people do say, because once you see like a 6 meter like cloth, you don't know what to do. You find it very difficult. Once you get hang of it, and once everybody develop their own style of wearing sari, it's kind of very, very nice and very elegant. And I think you can wear sari on jeans, you can wear sari everywhere. And I've got 1 or 2 different style of saris, which I would like to show it like next time, but I can prepare a bit better and we can have a little bit more time. And I'll definitely show one or 2 different style of saris.
Okay.
Happy to do this again as well.
Yes,
Thank you,
definitely we'll
Parul.
have you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Parul.
Parul.
Thank
The
you.
tips were amazing. The tips were amazing, especially how to do the one on the shoulder, you know, how to pleat it up and put it, and with the clips. So that was very helpful.
Yeah.
So it was really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes. It was very enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sarita, any more questions from anyone? I think she's disappeared. I think ladies don't have any more questions. So thank you very much on behalf of IIW. And
Thank you, Harsha ji, and thank you, Parul, so much.
Thank
And
you.
we look forward to having you again back and learn some more tricks, definitely.
Definitely.
And lovely hosting, Harsha ji. Thank you so much.
thank you.
That as
Thank
well.
you.
And
Thank
I
you,
just want to
pleasure.
say that tomorrow we have Awad Suno at 4 o'clock. And it's our very own singer, Anamika Agarwal, and hosted by Nilanjala Paul. Both sings really, really well. We look forward to have you all back tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Thank you here
Thank
from
you.
Rashmi and Sarika. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Enjoy the football match.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye. Bye.
Good luck,
Bye.
England.